So the economic downturn has now really started, right? I mean, the messages on the internet were everywhere. VCs who are reducing their investments, startups that need to prepare for the coming hardship and hard times. And we've heard also about all these layoffs, right? Netflix, Klarna, and even other companies are right now announcing that they plan to lay off their staff. And there's something wrong with this, really. I mean, this sends the message to worldwide to all companies out there that in order to prepare yourself, you need to let go of your people. But that's a misconception, because your people they contain an intrinsic value. You know, you have spent so much time and energy in those people to get them to a point where they contain a piece of your business. And now there's all these messages like, okay, lay off your people, lay off your people. Of course, you need to reevaluate your workforce. You need to reevaluate, like, which of the positions do we have right now that we actually don't really need to maintain our business for stability and security throughout this economic downturn. Of course, it makes sense to evaluate that, right? But just laying off for the sake of laying off in the belief that that's reducing the cost and therefore we will survive, that is a misconception. It's not at all guaranteed that just because you lay off your people, you will make it through. Instead, I really want to encourage every startup out there, do not start to lay off people right off the bat. Like, first evaluate and decide with the team, like, how can we work differently? What organizational transformations can we implement that make our organization more efficient and effective and productive? And try to keep as much of those talents actually. Like, I've been working in a large corporate. Now, I hear you thinking corporate world is not the same as the startup world. Well, maybe. In 2009, I was in the middle of the global crisis. I had a management position, right? And the company I worked with, clothing company, they were hit really, really hard. So all the messages around were like, we need to reduce staff. We need to reduce staff. We did something different. We didn't reduce our staff. Yes, we let off some people that were really redundant and were probably anyway not fitting to the team. That's fine. But instead of just laying off 20% of our staff, we actually looked at our processes. We looked at our operating procedures. We looked at our methodologies. We looked at our communication structure. And we optimized that. We took the opportunity of the downturn as a smack in the face, like, we really need to do what we knew we had to do all those time, but we never really felt the pain of not being productive. And that is very, very comparable to where you are right now if you're in a startup. Like, especially when you're already quite well funded, you could easily afford an unproductive organization. It wasn't a problem, right? You had the money to fund this loss in efficiency. So right now, you have to, like, you're being forced to look at, like, what is our real productivity? Like, how clear are we really within the team where we want to go? Like, do we really communicate efficiently and effectively? Do we have all processes worked out in a way that it's, supporting our overall organizational productivity? So if you lay off your people just for the sake of reducing costs, you're still keeping that improductivity that you have right now. Like, every organization has a level of improductivity. And we've never been looking to that because we were all the time in growth. And it was okay to fund that unproductivity. It was all about grow at all costs. Now it's saving at all costs. Saving at all costs. You hear that right. So before you decide to lay off your people, really consider those two things. Like, what is the intrinsic value of my people? And how can we turn our organization around so that we can retain most of our talent that contain a piece of our success already? and see how you can still grow through this economic downturn. Because one thing is for sure, when you let go of all your talents and you just reduce your staff, you also reduce your growth. And there are companies out there that will take this opportunity of the downturn to actually make it through and come better out of it. So think twice before you let go of your people, and have good luck and have a successful coming period of transforming your organization. Bye.